I am here at Springfield Muni, and I am joined by one of the cast members from Shrek, as well as the director. Thank you both so much for having me out to the theater today.
Welcome to the Muni.
All right, so Wes, tell me what it is like to be working in the elements at an outdoor theater with full makeup like that.
It presents its own challenges depending on what month it is and definitely the weather, like you said. Wearing a lot of makeup under some hot lights, under some heat, can cause some dripping, and so we got to protect costumes, but more than less, we're here to present an amazing show. So as much time as it takes us maybe to put on things like this, put on this makeup, this costumes, we just know that the audience is going to get the best of whatever it is, so it's worth it every single time.
And how long does it take you to get into makeup every night? And do you do it yourself, or do you have somebody here helping you with makeup?
I do not do it. I did it today, so sorry, Jenna. Jenna McStubbs is our makeup artist. She's amazing and phenomenal at what she does, but I did it today. It took me about an hour and a half. It takes her significantly less time for that. So having to be in this for an extended period of time, it's really just for the run of the show, and that's nice not to have to sit in this for hours and hours and hours.
Right,
Yeah.
and you're in most of the scenes. Do you touch up in between when you have a second backstage, or is it just sort of straight through, you put it on at the beginning and then you're done?
Yeah, as much as we can, just because like you had stated, we don't know the weather from day to day. You know, it could be a little bit more humid, it could be cooler, so you know, if I need to go back in between and touch up as needed, definitely I can. We make an effort here to promote safety, so making sure that we avoid any sort of heat stroke or overheating is a big important issue here, and we strive to avoid that at all costs.
That makes sense. Safety first. Yes. I know the show must go on, but
yeah.
Safety first.
Yes.
And then LaDonna, can you tell me a little bit about what the casting process was like? Because I know this is a completely volunteer theater here. So how do you put out the audition call, and how do you find people?
Well, the Muni is really unique because they basically do a month of auditions. So we do 3 weekends of auditions, and then there's also callbacks. And we had, over 400 people who auditioned for the Muni, and they auditioned for all 4 shows at the same time, and then we kind of vie for different people for different parts, and some people did more than 1 show this summer. I'm not sure how they did it, but it's a lot to be out in this heat for that long.
Yeah, for sure. And then because you're doing a 4-show kind of season all at once, do you reuse some of the set pieces and things like that, or being the last show up, what does that look like for you?
So generally you get to choose what you want, but we, as all of the directors and all of the production crew, got together and we thought, what pieces can we use that are the same? And there's a lot this year, because Hunchback is set in a time period that's similar, like that gives us that kind of medieval feel. There's some of the things we're using from that. Oklahoma is rustic, so we're going to use some of that. Something Rotten had this beautiful piece that opened that we're going to use for Farquaad, like the village, and it's going to turn around and be a cathedral. So there's a lot of the big pieces that are going to be used more than once.
That's great, because then you can just save and build from what you already have. Exactly.
Yep.
And then if somebody wants to come and see Shrek, how and when can they do that?
So the show is August 1st through the 3rd is our first opening weekend. So that's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then we go Wednesday through Saturday the next week. So 6, 7, 8, 9. I want to say that Wednesday the 6th is our kids night. And so for every adult, 2 kids get in free.
Oh,
so
cool.
that for Shrek, I think is going to be a big night for us.
That's going to be really fun. I can just imagine having this show with a bunch of children in the audience versus with, you know, some adults, some kids. Yeah. It's going to be a really special day.
They will yell out. We're also selling Shrek ears, so we want to look out and see a sea of ears.
So it is going to be a whole event.
Yes. Yes.
Well, thank you so much for having me out today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you want more information about Springfield Muni, you can visit us on the web at cialiving.tv after the show, and we thank them for sponsoring our segment today.